let's now try and do an overexplained on either Moon or Elven. I think Moon would probably be the better one to try to do right now, because Moon is very powerful. I think it's very common knowledge that Moon is very powerful. It's no surprise to anyone that Moon can do a lot of damage. It can ramp up very high because of Lapis, but it's often seen as find a Lapis early or it does nothing type of situation, which is very much not the case with Moon. There's ways to scale its damage without the need of Lapis. So hopefully I can showcase that here today, and I'm even going to ignore picking up Lapis if we see it, to try and showcase that. So I'm going to toggle off Dark, I'm going to toggle off Storm. These are the two packs I always recommend turning off when you're trying to do builds, because they focus on themselves a lot, similar to Moon. So it's like, why have them in the pool if I'm never going to pick up their items? Perks, usual perks, we're going to run the value-oriented perks of Tempo, Treasure, and Lucky, and then I'm changing the fourth perk to the pack's specific perk of Strike. The multicast slot from this is not as important as some of these other perks are for their build-specific perks, because you already get a lot of multi-strike from multicast from Moon anyway, so adding +1 onto that is mostly just like an early game thing, but starting with a Silver Lance is very nice. Let's just get straight into it, and we start with Tempo. Amazing. Got a Novice Blade. I swear in every video so far, I've got a Novice Blade from the 15 gold item, which is pretty funny. We're going to take the Goblet, and we're going to roll for some more 15 costs. Oh my lord, this is a lot of value. So we're freezing here. I'm going to pick up the Goblets. I realize I've never really explained the value of Goblets. So when you buy a Goblet for 20, it sells back for 10. But at the start of each day, it increases its sell value by 15. This doesn't mean that you sell it again immediately the next day, and then you get like technically like a 15 gold profit. 5 gold profit from doing that. You kind of want to hoard them for a little bit so they generate more and more value, because if you ever get them to 2-star, they start like generating gold as well. Like they just give you 15 gold at the start of the day as well, just for existing in your inventory, which is really nice. But oftentimes as well, you can just hold on to them as like an insurance goblet, where if you really need an item in the moment, you can sell it for a big chunk of money and buy it and get like a bunch of level ups, etc. We're freezing this shop because there's 2 more goblets in here, and there was a bone club, so we have a very good economy-based start right now. Like, we're doing a lot of damage. This couldn't get any more tempo if we tried. So it's pretty good. But for early game Moon items, what we're looking for is mostly Moon Knives. Moon Knives are very nice, so I really want to level here, but we won't be able to buy the goblet at the same time. So I might... yeah, I'm going to sell out this level, buy a goblet, because I really want to pick up an extra goblet and level, because now we can start scaling this one's money as well, whilst also making sure that we hit level 3 on day 3. So we do nerf our damage a little bit to do this, but we should be okay, because, well, it's okay to lose a round or 2 early. It's not ideal, but as long as you have something on your board so you're developing still, you're not losing all that much for losing 1 heart, compared to the people that level day 1, level day 2, throw away their hearts and stuff. It's like, you're not scaling anything, really, you're just giving away hearts. So we're going to take Healing Touch like we always do. I always take Healing Touch. The increase of your max health by this much value is much more potent than the +10 income, just because of whenever you level up, you gain 30% of your current max health as extra health. So if you watch here, I go from 1300 to 1700. In comparison to someone who took Blessing, that would be around 1200 right now. So I'm going to take the Goblet, pair it off, get our Epic Chest. We do not find any Moon items, unfortunately. Runic Shield, though, is a very good tempo-oriented item, but we also have Wild Magic up here, and I am a sucker for Wild Magic. But if I'm meant to be showcasing correct decisions in this sort of scenario, I think Runic Shield is always the play, so I'm going to take the Runic Shield. And if we look at this goblet now, it's selling for 65. Like, we could buy an entire level just by selling this goblet right now, but we're not. We're just going to hold on to it. I'm going to keep it on board as well. The damage isn't that important, but it does lord over our enemies that we are richer than them, and that's also important. The fear factor of just, like, letting them know that you're better is obviously very important. But yeah, this is also something that we kind of want to see as well. Like, Crescent Shots are nice. Silver Lances are mainly an early game item, but if you pair them with Bleed, they're very good. So in this scenario, I like picking up Value Potion, so that way we can use it to pick up, say, like a Moon Veil that costs 60, or a Lapis that costs 40. But since we have no real build right now, I'm gonna take the Traveler's Stock This way we have 12 rerolls. And now, oh, well, we're going to pair all this off first before we make any decision. There's a Lapis. So I don't want to use the Lapis because I want to showcase Moon without the Lapis. But we're going to put it on our board for now, just so we have a Moon tag on the board to influence our shop a little bit more. And hopefully we will... Well, there's another goblet. Find some Moon knives. Okay. There's another Lapis. I'm going to break a lot of people's hearts right now, and I'm going to sell this Lapis. And I'm going to buy this Moon knife. I am going to sell this goblet for 95. Buy more Moon knives. Please don't give me a Lapis. Okay. Unfortunately, don't really want any of these. Take the Solaris. Take Crescent Shot. We'll let this ramp up a little bit more. And we're going to... Usually, so in my suggestion, you wouldn't have sold that Lapis, you would have kept the Lapis, because Lapis is going to scale up your Moon damage stuff, but I want to showcase that even without having a Lapis, Moon can still do a lot of damage. But if you were to do this run, keep that Lapis, sell this Solaris, and buy the second Lapis, and then you can start scaling these up like crazy. But we don't have enough gold to buy anything else if we wanted to right now, so we're going to keep going. So I'm going to keep the Solaris on board just as a free bit of DPS and a way of healing up some damage. And then eventually we're going to tempo out of the Runic Shield and the Solaris and the Bone Club, like these will get sold. And then we'll try and pair it off with some more Moon related stuff. Shop. Okay, High Blades. So this, now I can showcase it. Excellent, because I can now hover over and show why you don't need to have a Lapis. So when you're building around, say, a Moon Knife, and you get it to 2-star, it doesn't scale its damage very well. You're just gaining extra experience. This is obviously not great. This is where you would definitely need a Lapis to make this item better. But with stuff like Crescent Shot, when you get this to 2-star, it gains bonus damage on each trigger. When you look at High Blade, this is going to reduce its cooldown. So when you get it to 1 second, it's going to be triggering faster, and it's going to be great. But then when you get it to 2-star, it loses that start of combat effect and replaces it with increasing its own damage by each Moon item. So as long as you can get these key items to 2-star, you don't need a Lapis, because you're scaling your damage anyway, and you can use stuff like Night Quills to re-proc these effects to really scale your damage outside of needing Lapis. It does help quite a bit in terms of refining your builds when you could do stuff like this. We're not going to pick up Silver Lance. If we had a way of proccing Bleed right now, unfortunately, Runic Shield does not apply Bleed, but if we had a way of proccing Bleed and putting Bleed on the enemy, Silver Lance is incredible, because it does multi-cast, it's pretty quick early, so it'll proc that Bleed damage twice. But if you look at the 2-star, it deals 15 bonus damage, and this bonus damage will trigger that Bleed damage again, so it will start chunking enemies like extra hard. It's very good DPS for the early to mid game. There is a Ruby Knife, so you can technically pair these off, but I don't want to invest in it, because we would end up pivoting it out anyway. Much like Goblets, we should really pick up these potion belts, because at the start of day, they gain a random vial, similar to how goblets at the start of day increase its sell value. So neither of these need to actually be in your inventory. You can just throw them up here, forget about them, let them passively do their thing, and then when you really need money, sell the goblet, and just casually use the potions that come from the potion belt as you're getting them. So right now, really, we would love to see like an early Night Quill, similar to how this person over here has their Night Quill to scale their dark items. We would love a Night Quill so we can get this cooldown reduced faster. I'm gonna rob Granny. Stealing from Granny is always better than buying from Granny, because you just, you know, get something for free instead. We didn't get that great of options. We can get 20 gold here, or we can save 20 gold by getting the Potion of Experience. So basically these two things are doing the same thing. We also got an experience vial from our from our potion belt. So from that knowledge, I'm gonna steal the potion instead, so we can level up before entering the shop. Got a Moon Knife again. We're gonna take that. Just roll once or twice. Crit and a Midas Diary. So I'm gonna sell out of the Runic Shield, and we're gonna pick up this Midas Diary. I would take the crit, but it is getting a little bit late into the run right now. Giving your Moon items crit is obviously incredible value, because if they're scaling their damage already, and then they've also got multicast stuff going on, you're just doubling that DPS. So, in this case though, I want to take the Midas Diary because we have 2 Moon Knives here. They attack very fast, and it's going to passively give us, well, I'll say passively, it's going to give us gold, like, generation as well, which economy is very good. We're going to lose out because this is a lot of bleed. But we gained 17 gold from our Midas Diary, so it's already earned back half of what we spent on it. Cool, we can upgrade our High Blade. And there's the Moon Veil. So this is going to give all of our moon items multicast, which doesn't sound like much when obviously these two already have a lot of multicast. Like you're just adding like an extra hit, which is still good damage, but it's mostly important because of the Moon Knives not having multicast. Giving these multicast just means more gold generated through our Midas Diary right now. And then we're going to level up. I'm going to save this damage vial, because if we never get this to 2-star, then I kind of want to focus on the Crescent Shot. We do have rerolls as well, so I'll take this. There we go. We got the extra Crescent Shot. Can't really slot it right now, but yeah, getting these two to 2-star is going to be our most important thing to look for, because that's going to end up being our damage. And as you can see, the High Blades are absolutely destroying right now. Now that we paired it off and it's a 1.2 cooldown, like it's kind of going crazy. So we're going to take Vitality, because taking us to 9 lives doesn't give us an extra day, because the interval are free. We would have to get to 10 lives for it to give an extra day, so we're going to take Vitality. We are only level 6, so we're going to level up. I should have used this potion first. If I used this experience vial first, then we would have been 12 closer to leveling up, and we would have spent 12 less gold on the level, which then means that we could roll, and if we find something like big, we would probably be able to buy it. Like, for example, if we found another Moon Knife, I would actually be able to afford it right now, but I can't right now. High Blades, got a freeze for these. We're that one step closer to getting it 2-starred. And now it's at 1 second, so we really want to get to 2-starred, because now there's 1 second, this starter combat effect isn't doing anything for it. So it's right now just a big stat stick, which is great. Like, it's doing a lot of damage. Oh, we could upgrade it, or we could take Slot Bus. Gain Treasure is also a great addition here. Now that we know that we're going to be playing around the High Blade more, though, I am more willing to just throw all my potions onto the High Blade. We can take Random Blessing. The consistent option is to take the Upgrade Epic, and you just upgrade the High Blade, because that's going to save us 120 gold, because we need to buy 3 more copies of High Blade to get it to 2-star. Obviously, there's 2 in the shop, so that's 80 gold, and then we'll need 1 more, which is enough for 40 gold, so that's 120 gold. So if we go like this, we save ourselves 120 gold, because now we don't need to pick these up. Instead, we can look to pick up the Nightquill, which would replace the Midas Diary, so that way we get more damage from this start of combat effect. Add this off. We don't have any way of applying Bleed right now, which is unfortunate. Bleed does pair very nicely with Moon, because of the fact you have all these multi-hit effects. So Sharfang would be nice in that scenario, but we don't have it. We're still going to take it and sell it, though, because it is the most expensive item here. It's a bit late to start conjuring, but you can conjure Spear onto Silver Lance this early game as well. There's the Silver Lance after talking about it. There's the Nightquill, and there's another Potion Belt. Excellent. Put this up here, and we can see this goblet's selling for 85 now, so we have to keep that in mind, that that's going to be selling for 100 tomorrow. Get rid of this Midas Diary now. Technically, I should have got rid of this Moon Knife first, and then the Midas Diary, but it's okay. We don't need the gold per se right now. We just need to get this High Blade hitting hard. Crescent Shot. And another Moon Veil. Yeah, I'm going to sell that Moon Knife, put in another Moon Veil. Start giving this High Blade more multicast. Just do a little bit of min-max thing here of putting the projectiles at the front of the tower so there's less travel time for them. But yeah, this High Blade is going to go pretty crazy. Right now it's 143. It's 193, and it's rinsing. Again, it doesn't have to be High Blade. High Blade is just the best target for this because of the cooldown reduction it has on itself. But you can do the same thing with Crescent Shot with its 2-star version, having the bonus damage, and even Moonstone, which is the mace for Moon. Let's do this real quick, which is the hammer for Moon. If we see one, I'll point out. Here we go. It gains multicast, but doesn't reduce its cooldown. This is why High Blade is better, because High Blade has that cooldown reduction. But when you get it to 2-star, it also buffs its own damage, based on how many mood items, and has a lot of multicast. So with this Moon Veil and the Nightquill here, and scaling its own damage, it's going to be at trigger cap, even when you don't reduce its cooldown. But you still want to try and reduce its cooldown, so that way it activates sooner into the fight. Pick up a Potion Belt. None of this really does anything for us. Dragon's Claw is technically not bad with Crescent Shot if we had it at 2-star, which then we would drop the Moon Knife for that. So I'm going to pick it and just hold it for now, in case we find the 2-star in the next couple of rolls, because then we'll do this. But until then, we're instead going to run this. We are... There we go, there's the 2-star as we said. So now let's sell out this moon knife. Put this down here. So this is basically our final build now. Really all we're gonna hope for is that this potion belt gives us some vials for some crit, so then we can throw the crit onto the high blade and the crescent shot. We should technically sell this goblet now and invest in some levels, just so we have more health. And we're just going to be pairing off these moon veils and this night quill when we can. And as you can see, we're just doing a lot of damage without the need of lapis. If we want to try and find these moon veils more, I would press benediction in case we get the lucky roll that gives us copies of our own items. But the consistent strategy is always going to be, and you're this close to winning, like you need one more win, just take the damage. And just have everything hit, like just have everything do what it's already doing, just better. So now we're just going to level, we're at 26,000. Let's roll once or twice just in case we could find our moon veil. And there it is, pair that off, see if we get another one. We did not. Sell out the new guide, and that's it. That's all we need, really. We can throw in this axe if we wanted to, and just do this. Like, this will apply bleed. It's not going to make or break or change anything, really. It's just a little bit of additional damage. Since it's the last round, we might as well spend that last bit of gold to throw anything in. So, let's go in. And there we go. Moon victory in 11 days. We dropped one round early, which is completely fine, but yeah. You don't need lapis. You just need to get your moon items that scale their own damage in some way to 2-star, and then night quill them as fast as possible. That's when you really get the damage scaling. If we throw a lapis on top of this, then the damage goes crazy. But yeah, this is just a showcase explaining Moon that you don't need lapis. But if you put lapis in with this, it will be insane. So like earlier where I sold that lapis because I wanted to showcase it without it, if you just used it instead, so instead of this slot being the axe, it would still be the lapis, you would get a lot of damage. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.